Welcome. Welcome. In this video, I'm going to be doing a pick a card message from Archangel Raziel. If you're watching the replay, please bear with me as people jump on, as I am doing this message live. So if you are watching this on my YouTube channel, please bear with me. Don't forget to make sure that you are subscribed and you have notifications turned on if you don't want to miss out on any messages. Today I'm bringing to you a message from Archangel Raziel. Archangel Raziel is known as God's secret keeper. And his purpose, or their purpose, is to keep the magical secrets of God. Okay? So today I'm going to be bringing a message for those who are guided to this. If you feel guided to watch this video, there may be a message here for you. If you don't, that's okay. You don't have to watch it. That's your decision. Okay? But if you feel guided to watch this video, then there may be a message for you. Okay? This video is timeless. So whenever this message finds you is when it's meant to find you, and it's when it was supposed to find you. Okay? I will be picking some oracle cards, and as I do the channeling, as well as I will then expand on whatever they're saying with my tarot. And I will also be picking for each pile a geomantic coin. So geomancy is a form of divination with a certain set of coins that were created many years ago. So I am going to pick a geomancy coin for each person, for each pile. I'm also using the Unveiling the Golden Age Oracle, which is very beautiful. Okay. All right. Archangel Michael, we ask you to set protections over us as we do this message. Archangel Raziel, I allow you to use my body as a temple to channel your messages from God for those who are here today. May I please have a card for pile number 1. Archangel Raziel, may I please have a card for pile number 2. Pile number 3. Ooh, okay. Beautiful. Okay, so ready to pick your card? Here is pile number 1. I'm gonna use the flashlight on this because the light is kind of dim. So pile number 1, this is your card. So if you feel drawn, that is your card. Love how my phone died. My other phone. Pile number 2. This is your card. If you feel drawn to this card, this is your pile. You may be drawn to more than one pile. That's perfectly fine. There may be more than one message to you. There may be more than one message here for you. If you don't feel drawn to any pile, then there may not be a message for you right now, and that's okay. There's other pick-a-cards on my channel that might have messages for you. Okay, so that's pile number 2. Pile number 3, this is your pile. Pile number 3, this is your pile. Okay, so drop the number that you choose down in the description. I'm going to show the piles one more time and then I'm going to get started. Anyone who wants to, on my YouTube, comment the timestamps for each pile, I will enter you for a chance to win a free reading. Pile number 1, this is your pile. This is your card. Comment your number so that your angels can lock in the information they're going to bring in for you. This works through time and space, so it doesn't matter what time or what day you see this. The future has already happened. The past, present, and future are all happening at the same time. Pile number 2, this is your card. Pile number 3, this is your card. All right, wonderful. So we have the piles now. Let's go ahead and pick your coins for each pile. Okay, we have a coin. Oh, you got more than one coin, pile number 1. Let's pick the coins at the end with each pile. Let's do that. When I want to make the coins. Okay. This is, I believe, air, fire, earth. Air, fire, earth, and this is, can't tell if that's a, is that water? Yes. Okay. All right. Okay, so very interesting, pile number 1. So Archangel Raziel is obviously bringing in something to do with the with astrology. Okay, so whatever situation you may be going through right now, it's part of your astrological natal chart. So it's something that your astrological natal chart, the way that my spirits describe it to me, is that it's not only is it a portal for your soul to enter into this world, but it also is the soul contract that your soul agrees to. So everything that you've agreed to do in this world is in your natal chart. So your natal chart, which is your astrological chart, it's all laid out there. Every single person has a unique natal chart, which describes everything that they're supposed to experience. Okay, so whatever's going on right now is part of your soul contract, is what I'm hearing. There's a lot of anxiety with pile number 1. A lot of anxiety that is in the gut. It's in the gut. So pile number 1, you might have been having some digestive blockages, and it's because your gut down to your feet is very energetically blocked. Okay, and this is part of your soul contract at this time. In it but not of it, wheel of life. So you are in this world, but you're not really of this world, is what Archangel Raziel wants you to understand. Is that you may be in a physical form, but your spirit is not of this world. In reality, nobody is of planet Earth. Planet Earth is a school. So technically, none of our souls truly are of Earth. Okay? All of our souls, in reality, every single one of us is kind of like a starseed, unless you were descendant from one of the children of the earth, which were the elemental spirits, is what they're saying to me. Unless you are descendant from what a lot of people call like the children of the forest. So unless you are descendant from the Fae, you are not truly of this planet. Your soul actually is not of this planet. So unless you are descendant from the Fae, the fairy realm, the children of the forest, whatever you want to call them, you are not really of this world. Pile number 1. You came into this world to bring your light, to help this world with your light. Some of you have come from very distant star systems. I'm hearing Andromeda. I'm hearing Orion. I'm hearing Arcturians, Lyrians. Many of you have a seat, your higher self has a seat on the Federation of Light Council. And the Light Council came together to maintain order and balance between the forces of light and darkness. Earth was created as a place for you, pile number one, and for everyone who is here to expand their soul. However, there are times when beings of darkness try to tip the scales too far into their side to keep souls trapped on the earth plane. So pile number one, whatever you're going through right now, your light is being oppressed. But this is part of your soul purpose. It's part of your soul contract. You decided as a higher dimensional being to come into a lower dimension to experience and understand what darkness feels like, what darkness and evil feels like. To understand it so that you will be able to overcome it. So that you will be able to become stronger and more powerful. So whatever you're going through right now, whatever conflict it is, understand that it's part of your soul contract. Because you are not of this world technically, it is okay for you to, from time to time, disconnect from the 3D matrix. Like, my spirit guides guided me to delete my TikTok, and that was like the best thing that I have ever done. So I don't have TikTok app anymore on my phones. And it felt like I exorcised the demon from my life. I'm not gonna lie. So it was like the most liberating thing I've ever experienced. So if you are watching a lot of TikTok, understand that that is a platform that's being utilized to awaken a lot of people who are asleep still. And also it is being used by beings of darkness to spread misinformation and fear and power and spread their power. Okay? So it was created to rage bait you. That's what he just said to me. He said it was literally created by beings of darkness to rage bait you. Because there are beings of darkness in this world that want to cause people to become enraged and to fight and to spill blood. It also siphons the good energy of people and of light workers. He's telling me that you need to bear and be more mindful of the parts of your astrology, your natal chart, of whatever planets, whatever planetary alignments are in Sagittarius, in Libra, and in Leo. Now, Sagittarius is the sign of expansion, ruled by Jupiter. Libra is the sign of balance, ruled by Venus. And Leo is a sign of the ego. And how you attract attention to yourself. It's also how you protect yourself as well. It's also where your light shines, which is ruled by the sun. of us have most of all of the signs in our natal chart. So you need to look at your natal chart, because you are more than just your sun sign, your moon sign, or your rising sign. Those are only 3 of the signs. There is more than that. Also, an air sign might be playing an important part in your life right now. So Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini may be playing a very important part in your life right now. So you got the coin known as Amicio, which looks like this. And you got Conjunctio. Ooh, a lot of entanglements. Pile number 1, you may have a lot of soul contracts that you need to untangle. I don't know if you can see that very well. The camera's not really focusing. Let me turn the light on. Oh. So, can you see that, pile number 1? There's a lot of entanglements in that coin. This is a bird woman on this coin. So remember I told you you're not from this world originally. Amicio. So let's go ahead and see what these 2 coins represent. We have Amicio and we have Conjunctio. Let's read Amicio first. So Amicio represents a loss in your life, a loss of relationships, or maybe feeling lost, feeling like you are alone and you have been isolated. And the reason for that is because it's very possible, pile number 1, that you are not you were not born into your soul family. You were born into a karmic family. Meaning that you might have been born into a family that was under the oppression of karmic cycles. And you came in here to use your light to assist the healing of this lineage. The weaver kneels on a cloud, holding her wings in both hands. She looks down in sorrow for the loss of her freedom to fly. So, pile number 1, because you are a star seed, you might feel very lost and feel like you have lost something, but not really sure what it is. And in this case, it's like you lost your wings. So, you were like an angel and you fell. You decided to fall into earth. You went from like a much higher vibration down to a much lower vibration in order to help people. But in the process, you had to lose your wings. And this is very devastating to your soul. Okay? Amicio is Latin for loss, and generally an unfavorable figure in most situations. The formation of dots in Amicio represents, so there are the dots, represents an upside down bag with the contents spilled out. In situations where loss is desired, illness, depression, heartache, Amicio can be favorable, but in all situations where gain is desired, Amicio is highly unfavorable. Amicio is balanced by acquisitio and reminds us of the impermanence of things. Amicio is strengthened in the 2nd house and weakened in the 8th. The planets associated with Amicio are Venus, retrograde, the sign of Taurus, and the body parts are the neck and the throat. Okay, so I gotta turn off this light though because it's too bright. Okay, so pile number 1, you have felt like you have lost something. And it's really devastating to your soul because you came from a place that was very full of love. You are a person that maybe wants to love people a lot, but all you experience is betrayal. And it's because you were born specifically into a family that had a lot of karmic issues. And you came here to help disentangle the karmic issues, okay? And disentangle a lot of these soul contracts. So you have conjunctio as well, which means connection. It's associated with the planet Mercury or Mercury retrograde in the signs of Virgo and connected to the digestive system. So your digestive system issues, pile number one, are all related to these karmic lessons. It's all related to this karmic family that you were born into. The shapeshifter appears as a cloud of entangled limbs and animals. The shapeshifter is the union of everything coming together, and thus has the ability to connect the unconnected. Latin for connection, conjunctio, is a neutral figure that heightens the good in all and the evil in all evil. Conjunctio is especially favorable in situations regarding unions, such as contracts and marriages. So what I'm hearing from that, from Archangel Raziel, is that because you were born into a karmic family, if you're not careful, pile number one, you could, instead of you influencing them, they could influence you to become evil, like them. But if you stand up and you resist becoming evil, you will be kind of pushed out of the family or like alienated. You're kind of like the black duckling, okay? Or the black swan. So if you are having a lot of these digestive issues that are due to soul karmic contracts, pile number one, I would recommend booking a consultation with me so that we can do a astral world healing ceremony, so that we can do a healing session to help remove some of those entanglements. And I also offer soul contract breaking as well. So back to this. So Archangel Raziel said, if you're not careful, these people could push you to becoming evil, just like them. But your job was to come in and influence them to become more like you. Not necessarily of like pushing them to be more like you or like judging them into being more like you, but rather by you standing in your light and in your power, that is how you are going to influence the lineage, okay? I'm hearing burn frankincense to activate the light in your lineage. Okay, back to conjunctio. It is also favorable when searching for lost things, as it represents a reconnection. The formation of dots resembles a crossroad or two paths coming together. Conjunctio is balanced by carcer, which means jail or imprisonment, and reminds us of the power of connection. Conjunctio is strengthened in the 6th house and weakened in the 12th. Okay, so interesting. Let's go ahead and see what the cards have to say about this as well. Pile number one. What exactly is it that you're going through besides what we just discussed? Archangel Raziel. What other messages do you have for pile number one? So this is a huge mission that you are on, pile number one. It's like your ancestors were like, hey, can you, since you're the most, you were the most highly elevated one in your bloodline, which is why earthly things kind of seem really dumb to you or might seem really stupid to you. And it's because you were already at such a high vibration. Like, let's say you were in dimension 11 and you had to come down to dimension 3, which is where we are. So you yearn to always be in those higher vibrations because that's what feels comfortable for you. Being in these lower vibrations is very, very painful to you, because the lower the vibration gets, the more painful these karmic energies get, and the more stuck you feel. So for you, pile number 1, you may also have a soulmate relationship that you need to untangle. Archangel Raziel is saying, remember that when you are untangling years, generations of trauma, generations or years of connection, it's going to take some time. Okay? It's going to take some time. Interesting. Can you please clarify on this? Pile number 1, you may even have a partner that, some of you have a partner that is part of the problem. Some of you have a partner that also has the same soul contract as you, or a very similar soul contract as you. And they're here to also clean and purge their lineage and their bloodline. But for this, you need to use your magic, pile number 1. There is no just influencing people with your energy in this situation. Spirit is saying you need to use your magic. You need to use your magic. May that be like Reiki or literal spells. You need to use your magic to influence these people to choose to elevate to a higher vibration. Okay. I'm also seeing the energies of Yemaya here. Archangel Raziel is showing me Yemaya's image. So in this case, some of you may have a connection to Yemaya energy. Okay. Some of you may also have a very negative connection with your mother. And the only one who's going to be able to help you heal that is Yemaya herself. Or whatever being is similar to Yemaya. Like it could be Ron if you are from the Norse spiritual practice. Whatever ocean energy you honor is the only one that's going to be able to really help you with this. The mermaid spirits, because some of you are mermaid spirits. Remember I said, yeah. Some of you are mermaid spirits. Oh, and there's a mermaid in this card. I didn't see that before. There's a little mermaid right here in the wave. There's a little mermaid. So only the mermaid spirits, or like the beings like Yemaya, are going to be able to really help you resolve these emotional issues that you have. Or beings like Agwe. And it feels more like it needs to be a feminine spirit. We also have, in voodoo, we also have La Sirena, who is known as the white siren, or Mama Wata, and she can help with these kinds of energies. I offer ocean rebirth ceremonies for this. Some of you may need to be crowned Yemaya. Or be crowned with the siren, or be crowned with Vron, be crowned with whatever this ocean energy, motherly ocean energy is. Okay? Because that's the only thing that's going to really help you come to terms with and fully heal. Or maybe you need to live by the ocean. That if you are meant to be crowned with Yamaya, I highly recommend that you go to a spiritual practice and follow the proper process. I was always brought up that if you're going to work with any Orisha or any Loa, that you have to be initiated into the practice and follow the proper process. There is really no like free work, like working with the Orishas traditionally or the Loa without going through the proper process, okay? And that is to ensure that you're not working with trickster spirits. Or you may need to go to someone who works with the Yamaya and get a ceremony done with that person. But again, some of you may need to live by the ocean. Okay, so I got distracted. Okay, so let's see here. Archangel Raziel, is there any other message for pile number 1? I do see a sense of stability for you, pile number 1. I do see a more positive relationship. If your romantic relationship has not been very positive, I do see a more positive relationship for you, but you may have to untangle some aspects of your current relationship or untangle the relationship completely, do soul contract breaking, whatever resonates with you. If you don't know how to do that, you can book a consultation with me and we can talk about soul contract breaking. But it's showing me here that everything that you're experiencing right now, it's all part of your soul contract. So if there is something that you no longer want to experience anymore, you need to request from your angels to help you edit the soul contract. If you don't know how to do that, again, I'm always available to help people on highpriestessmay.com. So, thank you.
Just gotta open the top.
Okay. So I would highly recommend pile number 1 for you, a soul contract editing. If it's something that you like really don't want to deal with anymore. If you're like, I want to do these aspects of my contract, but I don't want to deal with these certain aspects of my contract. Now keep in mind, there are still some things in your contract that you can't get rid of. Like shining your light is a requirement for you, and there may be some things that you had to go through in order to teach you to shine your light. And in that case, pile number 1, you can't really get rid of that aspect of your contract, but you can lessen its impact on you. It feels very heavy. This is very heavy energy. I feel like you're weighed down by so many aspects of that soul contract right now, and there really is a need to edit it. And also to make connections with people that are your soul family. I see you making connections with people here that are your soul family. So the family you were born into might not feel like your soul family, but there are other people out there in the world, pile number 1, that are your soul family. So I feel like this karmic, also if these karmic people keep trying to come back into your life, it's because these soul contracts need to be untangled. But again, remember what Archangel Raziel said, it takes time. You have to give yourself at least, a month to a year to fully untangle these soul contracts. Okay? So let's see. Archangel Raziel, what last message do you have for pile number 1? Actually, I want to do it from this deck. So pile number 1, the last message that Archangel Raziel has for you today is to be persistent in your presence. So show up. Show up for your life purpose. Show up every single day, no matter how hard it is. Show up. If there is something that you feel like you're really struggling with overcoming, do the work. Show up. Do the work to overcome it. Your angels are supporting you. All you have to do is ask for help. Your spirit guides, your angels, your benevolent ancestors, all of them are available to assist you because they are the ones who requested for you to come here to do this. So therefore, they are there to assist you, but they're kind of leaving you alone, waiting for you to ask for help. I just got really hot.
Oh, sorry, I didn't open the door.
Like, no, I just got really hot before that too. It's like, your energy is supposed to shine so bright. Like, you're supposed to be shining here, which is a very hot energy up here. But you're like down here right now. You see how dim it gets as you go down? You are here right now, and you really need to raise your vibration up here every day. So that whole thing with like letting go of TikTok, you don't have to watch the world burn. That's not your job. There's other people that are gonna be that are responsible for watching the world burn. You don't need to, pal number one, because you are here to help the world not burn down. So if your energy is distracted with watching the world burn, when are you going to have the energy or the time to actually focus on what you came here to do, which was raise the vibration? And the only way to raise the vibration is to raise your vibration, and by raising your vibration, you'll be able to raise the vibration of your lineage, even if they don't realize it. And you'll be able to raise the vibration of your ancestors, and you'll be able to heal your ancestors that are earthbound, that are stuck in these lower vibrational dimensions. And then you'll be able to raise the vibration of the collective, all through you. It all starts with you. It all starts with you being happy and spreading your love and spreading your joy. Because all this darkness, it can't live up here. It can't. It doesn't have the ability to. A secret that I learned from the archangels is like the highest the demons can go is like the 6th dimension. They can only be within the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, and the 6th dimension. All higher vibrational beings than that, like the demons can't go that high. They don't have the ability to resonate. At that frequency. So they can only be within the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, and the 6th dimension. So raise your vibration. Most really powerful Buddhist people, they experience like the 7th, 8th, 9th, sometimes 11th dimension. Okay. All right, pal number one. That's your message. Good luck on your path. You'll find out when you get to the 11th dimension. It's not for me to tell you. It's for you to do the work to get there and find out for yourself. All right. Okay. All right, pile number 1, that's your message. Thank you for joining me. If you would like to book a reading with me, you can do so on highpriestessmay.com. Okay, pile number 2, your card was the heart. 10 of portals. 10 of cups. But you know what's interesting is when I first pulled this card, it actually came up upside down. And what it's indicating to me is that maybe there is a sense of unhappiness, lack of joy in your heart. Pile number 2. Did I say pile number 1? I meant pile number 2. Yes, pile number 2. So there might be a sense of unhappiness, lack of joy in your heart, pile number 2. And let's go ahead and see why that is. I'm going to ask Archangel Raziel to give me some coins for you. May I have some coins, please, for pile number 2. Okay. You actually got 3 coins, so let's see here. You got, pile number 2, Rubius. Ooh, like Rubius Hagrid. Rubius. This is interesting. It's like a man being chased by these like demon wolves. Then you got poor. And you got Albus. Okay, this is interesting. So you might like Harry Potter. Because you got all of the ones that the characters are named after. So these geomancy coins were created way before Harry Potter. But you got like 2 character names here. Okay, let's see. What element is most influencing file number 2 right now? The element of earth is most influencing you right now, pile number 2. So, okay, you're unhappy because you're ungrounded. You're unhappy because you're not where you want to be. Your heart chakra is dimmed because you're not where you want to be right now. You're not where your soul wants you to be. Your soul wants you to be in the woods. I actually want to pull a few more of these cards for you, pile number 2. Like your soul wants you to be in nature. Okay, before I get into these cards, I want to read the geomancy coins for you and see what they say. These geomancy coins were created by James Eade. They're called geomantic visions. But they were created inspired by an ancient form of divination known as geomancy. So you have Rubius. Let's see what Rubius represents. Violence. Whew. Okay, so I feel like, I just got transported to a past life for you. Okay, give me 1 second. File number 2, because I just got transported into a past life. So, Ruby. Okay. I was here. Rubius. You have a lot of heart blockages, pile number 2, and the reason for this is because you have a lot of memories, past life memories and fears that you are not aware of. You were part of the people who were persecuted by the demons of the Catholic Church. And I will say it again. The demons of the Catholic Church. in a past life. So you saw a lot of violence towards the Fae people, towards the magical people. And that fear lives in your heart. The fear of not being able to be your best self lives in your heart. Okay? So this coin is connected to the planet Mars, the signs of Scorpio, the reproductive system, I'm not going to say that because I'll probably get banned. The reproductive system and all those systems down there. The fighter slides his feet across the forest floor, knocking over a goblet and spilling its contents. Behind the fighter, tormenting demons emerge, sending him into a drunken rage. Ooh, I just heard Berserker. Maybe also you might have been a Viking in a past life, like one of the Berserker Vikings that was able to get possessed by the spirit of the bear or the spirit of the wolf. Latin for the red, rubeus is a figure of violence and vices. It is generally unfavorable, and especially so when it shows up in the first position. It can represent anger and bloodshed, but also passion. This is really interesting because the character that is named Rubeus in Harry Potter is like the sweetest person in the whole world. They are like a big teddy bear. They are I think they're like part giant and part human, or part wizard and part giant. And it's like you might even have those physical characteristics of like being like half human, half giant. And there was a lot of, and you were pushed to violence is what I'm hearing here. You are not a person that usually chooses violence. You're a person who gets pushed to violence. Rubeus is favorable in situations that ask about sexuality, violence, and aggression, but unfavorable in all other situations. It is the good that is in all the evil, and the evil that is in all the good. Rubeus reminds us of the darker side of life. The formation of thoughts resembles an overturned goblet. Rubeus is strengthened in the 8th house and weakened in the 2nd. So you've been a warrior your entire existence. You just keep reincarnating in this warrior avatar over and over and over and over again. Pile number 2. Let's go ahead and see what the next one says. Pure. And the reason why I say the demons of Catholicism is because the angels in Catholicism don't persecute people with magical ability. It's the demons that do. There's a big misconception that the Catholic Church is against magic because God is against magic, and that's not true. It's the demons in the Christian religion that actually dislike people being in connection with their own magic. And the reason for that is because they want you to be disempowered in being able to fight against them. Okay? Whereas the angels do not have a problem with magical people. Poor action. Associated with the planet Mars, sign Aries, and the head. The protector, you need to protect your head. So you may need a head protection ceremony. The protector charges towards their foe head on and is ready for direct action at any moment. Latin for the boy, puer is a figure of confidence and masculine energy. Puer is favorable in situations that require action and change, but it can be quite unfavorable in most other situations, especially those that require patience, understanding, and maturity. Puer is a figure of quick decisions, and therefore not a favorable figure when seeking something long-term or stable. Puer is balanced by Puella, but also finds balance in Albus, young versus old. Interesting, because you got Albus as well. So I feel like Archangel Raziel is saying you need to find the balance between this violence and peace, and gain the wisdom from these past lives and from these challenges that you've experienced. Puer reminds us to be bold and confident, okay? And then Rubius, I'm sorry, I already read Rubius. Let's read Albus, which you also received. And then I'll get into the more messages from Archangel Raziel. Albus, illumination. So what is all this conflict teaching you, pile number 2? Because the wisdom of what this conflict is teaching you is what it is, the whole point. That's the whole point. The whole point is what is the wisdom that this conflict is meant to teach you. Albus associated with Mercury, Gemini, shoulders and the lungs. So you might hold a lot of blockages in your lungs as well, in your shoulders, because you hold a lot of responsibility. The peacemaker stands ankle deep in a pool of water surrounded by lilies. In his left hand he holds a scepter of the sun, and in his right hand he spills a cup of liquid gold. He is wise and experienced, and his advice is highly welcomed. Albus is Latin for the white and stands for peace and illumination. The formation of dots resembles an old man with his hands up in the air as if he has discovered a long sought after solution. Albus is favorable in most situations, but alone it is considered a weak figure. It's great for beginnings and things that require knowledge and understanding, but can be unfavorable in situations that require courage and strength. Albus reminds us that peace can be illuminated. Albus is balanced by Rubius, and is strengthened in the 3rd house and weakened in the 9th. That's interesting that I said Remus, because in Harry Potter, Remus is actually a werewolf. And what the first thing that I said is that there were werewolves. There were like wolf-like demon figures in this. So it's kind of all tied together. This is really interesting. It's really interesting. So pile number 2, you definitely need some earthing. You need to also connect to the wisdom of Mother Earth. Connect to the wisdom of nature. Do some meditation in nature and ask your spirit team, what is it that you are supposed to be learning from this violence that you are seeing in the world? You're meant to take actions beyond the ordinary. Be in courageous alignment. Some of you may need to initiate your clairvoyant gifts. Or you may need to activate an evil eye talisman to ward off evil. You need to be in alignment with your courage and not your fear. Okay? Get out of your fear. Also, your spirit animals may be the bear and the wolf. All right, pile number 2. That's your message from Archangel Raziel. I know there was I hope that was clear for you. If you have any further questions, or if you would like to to receive messages from your spirit team, book a consultation with me on, book a reading with me on highpriestessmay.com. If you are trying to figure out what spiritual work you need for your highest good, book a consultation on highpriestessmay.com. Thank you for joining me. Many blessings. All right, pile number 3. All right. See, like I got really hot in pile number 2 for some reason. So Archangel Michael might also walk with you, pile number 2. Someone just asked if I had a tip jar. So on YouTube, you can tip me by hitting the little heart that has like a $sign in it. And then if you want to tip me directly, you can go on my website, highpriestessmay.com. At the bottom of my link, I have a tip jar if you wish to do that. Thank you for your donations. All right, pile number 3. Let's go ahead and see what message Archangel Raziel has for you today. Also, really quick, I'll just announce that at the end. Ooh, I didn't realize there was a DNA helix in this card. Okay, this is really cool. Pile number 3. I'm getting that your ancestors had a curse of illness in their lineage, and you incarnated to break this generational curse of illness to elevate the DNA. I'm being told that there are some lower vibrational frequencies that are attached to your sacral chakra. Pile number 2, I'm seeing like little demons living inside your like your ovaries or like your genitalia. Not like literal, but like little black specks in these areas. And your ancestors are telling me, Archangel Raziel is showing me that this is the illness curse. I'm sorry, pile number 3. Pile number 3. I'm sorry, pile number 3. There might be a message for you in pile number 2, which is possibly why I made the mistake of calling you pile number 2. But pile number 3, this is for pile number 3. So there may be some, understand that the physical illness in this area is caused by the spiritual attachment. Okay? It might not have shown up physically yet, but it may show up with time. You may also feel tightness in the lower extremities, and that is from the attachment. Like I said, this is a general reading, so it might not everything may resonate with you, but this is for the people who this is for will know that this is for them. If you are having a lot of tightening in your lower body, especially in your genitalia, Archangel Raziel is saying it is because you have dark energy attachments in these areas, and you need to get some sort of energy healing done to remove this energy. And then you may also need to do some herbal healing as well, some herbal medicine. Okay? And this is because of this generational curse that you have carried, that you came here to break. Okay, but the only way to break something is to have it. This may also show up as some very negative sexual relationships. So I offer this session that's called Generational Curse Removal and Ancestral Healing Session. and it's done via astral trance, and I do it remotely. So if you feel that you are experiencing these energies and you would like to get these energies removed, you can book a consultation with me and we can talk about that. Okay. They're showing me passion flower being very helpful. Now, please, I'm not doing any medical. I'm not a medical professional. I am an herbalist. So please research any plants that I recommend. Research them. Make sure that they don't contradict with anything that you're taking or any of your Western medicine. Okay. So passion flower can be very helpful, is what they're showing me here. Getting flower Reiki. They're showing me some mushrooms, but I can't remember what these mushrooms are called. Oyster mushrooms. I think these are oyster mushrooms. The ones that are like grow. Babe, which are the mushrooms that grow like scalloped over each other? No. These look like turkey mushrooms. Not turkey mushrooms, I'm sorry. Oyster mushrooms. Or shiitake mushrooms. They're also showing me you honoring your ancestors. Pile number 3, you also have extraterrestrial ancestors. You have human ancestors, but you have extraterrestrial ancestors too. They're showing me here pile number 3. Did I call you pile number 2 again? Yeah. Pile number 3. I don't know why I keep calling you pile number 2. It's because pile number 2 is important to you for some reason. Some of you have messages in pile number 2 as well. Pile number 3. You descend from extraterrestrials and humans. Also tell me working with the spirit of the orchids. Now, I think orchids can be, some orchids can be poisonous, so don't consume it, but you might be able to just have it in your presence, to have it help you with this. They're showing me you do need light language healing. Lemurian quartz, pile number 3. Restful renewal. You need a lot of rest as well. The number 8 may be important to you. So you descend from the people who speak light language. So you may need also some light language healing. But when I do the astral healing sessions, I call in your spirit guides and your elevated ancestors. So they'll be able to help you with this during those sessions as well if you wish to book a session with me. Archangel Raziel, what coins do you want to offer to pile number 3? See, pile number 2 was important because Rubius came up for you. So you need to take a look at pile number 2, pile number 3 after this. Okay? You're welcome. So yeah, that was confirmed because the coin Rubius just popped up and that came out in pile number 2. So that tells me that pile number 2 also, some of that resonates for you as well. Some of you need to activate your starseed abilities, like your starseed healing abilities. You might have the ability to communicate telepathically with other people. I know my spouse and I, we speak to each other telepathically sometimes without even realizing it. And it's because both of us also have extraterrestrial DNA. She has Arturian and I have Syrian from Egypt. So Spirit is saying, pile number 3, you need to activate your starseed DNA. You need to, as well as your human DNA. Water may be very important to you. The element of water is very important for you. Pile number 3. It's because, like, where you come from is a very watery kingdom. So where your ancestors come from, it's a very watery kingdom. In voodoo, we have 3 heavens. So we have like 3 worlds, pretty much. We have the world of the mermaids, the heaven of the Harada spirit, the Harada Loa, and then we have like the earthly heaven, which is like the Petroloa. Different lineages look at it differently, but many of us who practice voodoo were told that we were related to mermaids and believed that we were related to mermaids. We have Loa that are mermaids. Okay, so you got Carcer. So you feel imprisoned. When you are away from water and from nature, you feel imprisoned, pile number 3. Did I call you pile number 1? I don't know what's going on with me today. Spirit is just taking over. I'm just the vessel, so. I see you imprisoned in a watery swamp. Somebody threw you in the swamp. Pile number 3. Somebody threw you in a swamp to try to restrict you. I'm hearing pray Psalm 23 and ask God to remove the blockages and to bring you blessings that your enemies cannot deter from you. So somebody who wanted to stop you or who wanted to slow you down put you in a swamp. They may have also tried to do a death hex on you and like bury you. Now this will resonate for some people, especially if you feel very sick or the curse that your family had started because somebody did a death hex on an ancestor and it passed down from generation to generation. And it became a death curse. So if you don't know how to break that, book a consultation so that we can do the work with the angels and the Loa to break that. So either in this lifetime or previous generations had death curses cast on them. But you were... Oh my goodness. Okay, so pile number 3. You had roots put on you by the slaves in a past life where you were a Confederate soldier. So you might be African American now, but you were a white Confederate soldier in a past life. And you had some roots put on you because of your behavior in that life. So now the reason why you might be African American is so that you would have to know what it felt like to experience the treatment that you put on those people. So, or you might have been chosen to work with the Loa or with the Orisha so that you would help heal the people that you hurt in a past life. So somebody put some roots on you in a past life, and that was an ancestor of yours now, which was yourself. I know it's like really trippy, but it's like you reincarnated, but you brought this curse down the line with you. So you got the coin Karser. The commander tree attempts to break free from the rooted prison of the swamp trees. He is alone in his isolation and restricted from any movement. This is really interesting because before I even realized that this being was in this swamp, I saw you being put in a swamp or like put in a lake. Latin for incarceration. Carcer is generally an unfavorable figure of all things that desire change and movement. Cárcel can be fortunate when wanting security and indomitable strength. The formation of the dots in Cárcer resembles an enclosure or the bars of a prison being bent open. Cárcer is balanced by conjunctio and reminds us that in order to grow roots, we sometimes must stop moving. So this might also be affecting your knees and your bones. These roots that were put on you might be affecting like your knees or your bones, or you might feel like somebody is like you have a rope tied around you. You need some hex breaking, some serious hex breaking, curse breaking. I would suggest booking a consultation. That's not something that I would suggest you do by yourself, because you could make it worse. It's like when you try to get out of, they just showed me like devil snare. Devil snare is awfully fun, but will sulk in the sun. So, Alexa, stop. So, in Harry Potter, in the first movie, I think it was, The Sorcerer's Stone, there's a scene where Hermione Granger and Harry and Ron get stuck in these this plant that is called Devil Snare. And basically what it does is the more you struggle, the more it strangles you. And the tighter it gets. And basically it will strangle you to death. But the only way to actually overcome it is to give into it and to not freak out and to not fight it. Okay? Which is the reason why I said, or it has to be hit with sunlight. So in this case, Spirit is saying you have, like, part of this curse, you either have to fight it by going in the sunlight or with vitamin D, or you need to fight it with light magic. Okay? Not just reversal magic. And you can't fight it by yourself. You need someone else to do this for you. Like in the Harry Potter, Hermione was the one who had to do the Sola Solem spell, which is like the sunlight spell, to actually be able to get Ron out of it, because Ron couldn't stop freaking out. So he wouldn't give into it. So he wasn't able to escape it on his own. So he needed Hermione to actually cast a spell to get him out of it. Okay? So you need someone else to cast a spell to get you out of this. Unless you are willing to go through it for longer than you already have. Okay? So book a consultation. All right. Next. The ancestors and the Archangel Raziel is serious today. So the next one that you got was, let's see here, Tristatia. Interesting. Tristatia. Sorrow. So your present experience is sorrow. It's interesting because they're showing me the woman with no face. So you brought sorrow to people in a past life, and now you are experiencing the sorrow that you brought others. And this is interesting because the woman with no face is something that we usually have in Dominican Republic. So you might have been a conquistador like in Haiti or Dominican Republic, the faceless dolls. The romantic hands hangs off the side of her vessel, languid from the borage of thoughts racing through her active mind. Latin for sorrow, it's tristitia, is a figure of great sadness. It is unfavorable in most situations, as it indicates pain, sorrow, or mourning. Tristitia is a counterpart of letitia, and usually only finds itself favorable in situations requiring stability and patience. It can be good when wanting to form roots or building a foundation. Tristitia reminds us of the need to sit with the sadness in order to move through something. What did I say? What did I just say? What did I just say about devil's snare? You have to sit through it and suffer through it in order to get through it alive. Or you need somebody to cast a sun spell to kill it. I just said that. I said you either have to sit in it and deal with it, or you have to have somebody else cast a spell to liberate you from it. Okay? I said that before I even read this. So if you're too tired to sit through it, it's time for you to start doing the work to overcome it. It's time for you to start seeking out magical help to overcome this. 11 o'clock. You have mastered this lesson already. It's time for you to liberate yourself. The number 11 represents a spiritual master of something. So you have already mastered a lesson. So it's time for you to be liberated from it. Book a consultation if you need help with this. Tristitia reminds us of the need to sit with the sadness in order to move through something. The formation of dots represents a pit. Aligned with the planet Saturn. Saturn is in retrograde right now. The sign of Aquarius and the body parts of the lower legs and ankles. So this is definitely ancestral problems or past life issues. Because when it's connected to the legs and the ankles, these are shackles that you have from past lives or from ancestors. Some of the things that happens is that the conquistadors from back in history, a lot of the way that they were able to pay off their karmic debt was to reincarnate in a family that was enslaved by them. So they now have to feel the karmic energy of that family and the pain that family went through. So if you're ready to get rid of this debt, book a consultation and we can ask Spirit what we can do to relieve this. Some of it is not that you were conquistadores. Some of you is just that you are actually feeling the pain of your ancestors. You are literally feeling the pain of your ancestors. You are literally feeling that. Okay? And you need spiritual baths. You need very, very heavy spiritual baths. And you need very heavy, this is interesting. This is a lotus flower, which Underneath, the lotus is very tangled. Orchids have very tangled roots. Everything is crazy how spirit works, man. Populous. So once you liberate yourself from this issue, Archangel Raziel is saying the reward for untangling yourself from all this karmic stuff and your ancestral trauma and all this mess is populous. So let's go ahead and see what populous represents. Populous. I can't believe I remembered the words from Harry Potter because it's been a while since I've seen that movie or read the book. When I was a teenager, I would read the book a million times, but now I don't have time to read the book as much. Populous, the many. The dreamer hovers above a group of people, each with their own opinion and value, but coming together to only amount to indecision, incapable of attaining the true dreams of the dreamer. Latin for the people, populous is an extremely neutral figure. While it represents the people, of which each individual may have a voice as a whole, it is a muddle of noise. In the reading, populous offers a multiplicity of whatever the figures are around it. It is good in all that is good, and it is evil in all that is evil. So basically, your life will be really, really good if you do what you need to do to deal with this energy. If you just decide to not deal with this energy, then it's just going to keep being the way that it is. There's okay? The formation of thoughts resembles a crowd seen from above. Populous reminds us that we all have difficult values and we all have different values and opinions, but when we come together, we must find a common ground. Connected to the waxy moon, the sign of Cancer, the breast and the torso. So, what I'm actually getting intuitively from this coin as well is that by going through this experience and overcoming it, you are also going to be able to help other people overcome it. You're going to be able to help other people heal as well. Some of you, by actually breaking this curse, will be able to tap into your shamanic abilities, because I just saw a shaman. So by you breaking this problem, this situation, you'll be able to tap into your shamanic abilities. You'll be able to tap into your magical abilities more, and also Archangel Raziel is saying it's very important though, pile number 3, that once you break this, that you steer away from using your magic for evil, because it will start up the karma all over again. It's very important, pile number 3, that after you heal this karma, that you only use your magic for good or to defend yourself, okay? Only for good or to defend yourself or to protect yourself, not for evil, because it was a curse cast by your ancestors, for some of you, that led to you being in this situation now. A curse cast by 2 different ancestors. It was like ancestors. Oh, okay. So this is something that has gone back millennia. Because they're showing me your ancestors, your earth ancestors, also casting spells against your extraterrestrial ancestors, and then your extraterrestrial ancestors using their magic against your earth ancestors. So it's like a never-ending cycle. So you need to end it. You need to end it. The light collects. Remember, the light always collects. This will also help open up your pineal gland, which is your third eye. And you will, once you break out of this, you will actually shift into crystalline dimensional energies. This is a very deep reading. It's like almost like a personal reading. So there must be more than one person going through the same situation. This is when I feel like, wow, I feel like we are all just, like the whole world is just happening for you. You know what I mean? The whole world is happening for you sometimes. That's what it feels like. Like we are all one and the world is happening for ourselves. Okay, take a leadership position, take a leadership role in your life, and you will have things to celebrate. How do you take a leadership role in your life? Deal with these situations. Do not just ignore them. Take a leadership role. Aries. One thing that a lot of people don't realize is that Aries is actually the ancient ruler of Scorpio, which is the sign of the occult. So the sign of the occult and the sign of magic. So use your magic. Use the magic available. Remember, Archangel Raziel, their name means magical secrets of God. Okay. Magical secrets of God. So use your magic, or use the magic available to you from the help of another light worker to deal with the situations. I was also told work with smoky quartz as well to deal with these situations so that you have cause to celebrate.
What's this on?
So that your sorrow will turn to joy. Ave Maria. I just heard Ave Maria playing. So maybe Mother Mary might also be beneficial for you to work with. Gloria plena. I'm hearing church music playing. I'm hearing Gregorian chants. I'm in a chapel. Interesting. So, follow your intuition. Maybe the goddess or Mother Mary can also help you with this. Or someone who works with the goddess or who works with Mother Mary. For some of you, the goddess Hecate can help with this as well. For some of you, the limbo is coming up here, so I wonder why. Archangel Raziel. Why is the limbo coming up here for file number 3? Saying that the limbo can help you overcome some of your burdens. Or so saying expedite can help you overcome some of your burdens. For some of you, also Pringede or Generalgede can help you overcome some of your burdens. Look at that, the death hex. So this usually represents, right side up for me, it represents rest, needing to rest and recover. When it's upside down like this is a death hex. You see how he's on a coffin? And I was shown a chapel. And I was in a church, in a Catholic church. Spirit is saying you need to open your eyes and see the truth. There is another way to deal with this situation rather than just struggling through it. For some of you, St. Barbara might be helpful. For some of you, St. Barbara may be helpful in breaking this as well. Depending on who walks with you. St. Barbara, for some people it might be Chango. Yep, there. Beliebekang. Look at that, the devil. Now the devil can represent the devil, like for me, like Satan, or it can also he also represents Eshu. They're not the same being, but they sometimes they use the devil to represent Eshu, the trickster. But you need to set yourself free from these chains. Beliebekang, which is Archangel Michael, in my practice, can help you with this. So I work with pretty much almost all of these beings. So if you are looking for assistance, you can book a consultation with me on highpriestessmay.com and we can go from there. Rican, are you okay? Some of you may need to travel a long distance to actually break this curse. Some of you may need to go to another country or another state to have to break this curse. Some of you may have to get help from Jeshua or Jesus. Some of you may have to get help from Odin. So based on based on who you are, there's going to be a different being that's going to be able to help you. Okay, so you need to book a consultation so we can find out what being is going to be able to actually assist you with this. Because it's different for different people. You will be victorious. If you work with the right being, you will be victorious. Some of you need to work with Archangel Raziel. So see, depending on who you are, pile number 3, there's a different being that has the key to breaking this. So you need to book a consultation and find out which being. You need to book a consultation primarily with a spirit worker, somebody who works with spirits, like myself or anyone that works with spirits, who is able to know exactly, who is able to find out exactly. And when I say spirits, I mean elevated spirits, archangels, beings that can help you. Okay, either myself or people who work similar to what I do, that will help you with this, because you need to know exactly which being you need to go to. Because if you mess it up the first time and you go to the wrong person, it might make it worse. Not the regular dead. Okay, this has to be done by highly elevated beings. And each person in pile number 3 is going to have a different being that it needs to be done with. Okay? If you come to me, you need to have patience and trust the Loa. Trust the archangels, trust the Loa that I work with. So I usually require 2 moon cycles to do your work, because I work with the flow of what the angels and the mysteries tell me to work with for your specific work. Because not everything can be done in certain days, okay? That's why I always say, you come to me, be patient, give me at least 2 moon cycles to complete your work, and then know that your work can take time to manifest, depending. It could take 1 day to manifest, it could take months, it could take a year. It depends on the particular work that we are working on. Is there anything else? You will be reborn, and the cycle will end. Some of you need to work with Venus. Some of you will need to work with this Frida. You will be reborn, and you will, this cycle will end once you petition the right being. Once you work with the right being to do this. Okay? It will be a period of rebirth. All right, everyone. That is the message from Archangel Raziel. If you would like to book a consultation or reading with me, you can only do so on highpriestessmay.com. I will never DM you ever, 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 ever. Okay? Never. So the only way to book with me is on highpriestessmay.com. Okay. Okay. Community rituals. We have community ritual coming up on next Monday. I'm sorry, on the 15th with Baron Samedi for Return to Sender, if you are interested in that. And we have a few community rituals. Just look on my website. There's a few community rituals happening this month. Okay. You might be very interested in one of them or multiple of them. Now, one last message for the collective is what Archangel Raziel is telling me. So I'm being told by Archangel Raziel that it's very important to get some sunlight, especially on the 8-8 portal. Okay, we have a true 888. Now, everybody always says every single August 8th, oh, it's a Lionsgate portal. It's a Lionsgate portal. Not always. It's not really a Lionsgate portal. The Lionsgate portal, however, this year is very powerful. Why? Because the number of the year is 8. If you add up 2024, it comes down to 8. And then if you add, you have August 8th, 8. Okay, so 888, the August 8th, 2024, which is a number 8 portal, is going to be very important. So it's very important that you get some sunlight in order to receive light code activations for the 888 portal. These light code activations can help with expanding your psychic abilities, with clearing blockages. Okay? And today is also an 8 day. That's true. 8-8. Interesting. See that? Today is the day that I'm actually doing this. And whenever the next 8-8, because remember this message is timeless. So whenever the next 8-8 portal is, it's really good to get some sunlight. But the 888 portal will be the most powerful because it will activate a lot of frequencies for the collective. There's the lion. Okay. And this 888 is meant to bring sovereign cohesion to the universe. This 888 portal is meant to bring sovereignty to the people. Liberation from oppression. Whatever that means to you, however that manifests for you. It doesn't have to just manifest as like money or love or psychic abilities. Whatever it is that you need liberation in, the 888 portal is going to be very important. It's going to be a very important day, and it's very important for you to get some sunlight on that day, on your crown. Now, be careful, don't spend too much time in the sun. But it's going to be a very important day for solar activation. Okay? I would highly recommend, if you haven't joined any of the community rituals, to take a look at the community rituals that I have this month, because they are all divinely guided. I don't offer rituals unless the mysteries say that it is needed for the collective. because different community rituals this month on highpriestessmay.com. These community rituals may be what you need. Whichever one you're divinely guided to, may be what you need in order to be able to make the best of this 888 portal energy. Okay, so take a look at that on highpriestessmay.com. And that's all I have for you today. That's all Archangel Raziel and I have for you today. Many blessings.